What's going on, Pisces? And before we even jump into it, happy birthday! I hope you're enjoying your birthday season. You know, Pisces energy, this is good stuff here, especially for what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, what's going on, Pisces? How we doing? Welcome to my channel, Alchemist 8. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling amazing on your birthday season. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes and shares, your support, Pisces, especially during this time, and just all time, Pisces, just sends me through to the moon, and it keeps us growing. You like that, to the moon? That's your card in tarot. I didn't actually mean that, but see, never mind. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Pisces, I'm just so geeked up that it's your birthday. I love when birthday seasons come around. But Pisces, the spread that we're going to be doing this week is going to be a business spread. And we're going to find all the ways that you can get the maximum amount of abundance during this time, especially. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space, so cleansed. Yeah, it's going to be that kind of reading, Pisces, over the top. And the gems, we're all geeked up for your birthday, Pisces. Just good energy all around here. Now, Pisces, with this spread, I'm going to be going until higher self says stop. And just so you're all aware, I know that it may be seem a little darker than normal. When I'm recording, it's storming where I'm at, and it's coming down pretty good. So we're just, I thought I don't know if you can, you probably can't even hear, but we got some light raindrops against the windows. We're setting a mood here, Pisces. And also, more awareness for you. When I do these readings, they're not gender specific readings, so just something to keep in mind when we're working with these energies. Apply these to the cards to situations and people as they make sense, okay? And then lastly, the decks that I'm using. This one I'm shuffling, it's the OG deck, Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. And then the other deck that I'll be using is the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle deck. And I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Pisces. Alrighty, let's see what's been cooking up in your world. Ooh, Pisces, I'm with this. This is a solid start here, Pisces. So, I feel like that some of us, if we're let's start if we're in business, if we're starting up a business. I feel like that if we're at our beginning stages, I feel like that this is going to be a really important time for you right now, at least with these energies, to make sure that we have a game plan, that we have all of our ducks in a row. Because the Prince of Disc, he's my card of if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we just want to make sure that I feel like that we're on top of some stuff here. Don't stress yourself out, but if there are some things, how can we set up tomorrow's you for success? I feel like that's going to be the name of the game for some of us. If we've been in something for a little while, I feel like that this is saying, maybe we got some new ideas, maybe we got cooking up in the mix, whatever that is, Pisces. I say persevere, maybe we're, or, and this could be too, maybe we've had something that we've just implemented, maybe we're introducing a new product, maybe we're trying a different way of, maybe a new sales pitch, however this might be manifesting for you, Pisces, give it a little time. I know sometimes if we don't get that initial type of, that initial gratification or that instant gratification or any, something along those lines, it makes us a little nervous at first here. What up, baby? Makes us not you, Pisces, I'm talking to the cat. I mean, not you. Don't make this weird, Pisces. Back to you. But, where was I at? Now you got me all thrown off, Pisces. And you too, Libra. But, I feel like that if we if we don't get that initial gratification, it's like, where was I? If we haven't got that initial gratification, or if that's something we're looking for, give it a little bit of time. Be patient with it first. And then if we've noticed that it's starting to drain more out of us, or it's not the return is not, you're not getting out what you're putting, or getting back what you're putting in, then maybe think about doing some tweaks, or maybe even canceling stuff altogether. Now, for some others, I feel like that we're going to talk about this Two of Cups in a minute, but with some others, maybe if we're working at a place right now, I feel like that maybe some of us, maybe we might be waiting out something, as far as like maybe for a different, like maybe there's a position opening up, maybe someone, let's say for example, maybe there's a supervisor that's coming up, and maybe they're getting ready to get promoted to manager or something, and maybe you got your eyes on that position, Pisces. I say that's one, all of it, or it could be maybe you're planning on, maybe you've been having something cooking down for a while, and maybe we're even possibly thinking about maybe changing gears, like maybe even possibly doing like a career shift, and maybe we're waiting for some stuff to line up there, regardless, Pisces, apply it to, I can paint out 100 different scenarios here, but I do feel like that patience and perseverance are going to be the name of the game for you. At least seems like this month for you, Pisces. And I feel like while we're in this time of maybe in this like waiting period right now, maybe check to see if there are some areas in this, in some areas that we can improve, whether in our business or possibly even in ourselves, Pisces. I feel like that maybe if we're thinking about a role that might require maybe you learning some extra skills, let's say this manager position you might be going for, maybe you're talking with some people internationally, maybe you want to think about picking up a language, finding some ways to impress your clients, and build some rapport, or something along those lines, Pisces. And I think too, Pisces, with this energy, maybe some of us could be as well, maybe we're thinking of pursuing something, like making like our dream come true. I feel like that if we're pursuing something that we love, turning like our passion into our business. That's another one too, Pisces. Again, be practical. Make sure that you have a good foundation there. But that's another one too. Be patient, because if that's something that you're, especially when it's something that a passion, which I would love for all of us to do in the world that I'm trying to paint. We're all doing what we love here. And I would love, I'm just loving right now. No, I think that it's something where, especially if this is something that you love, just keep that perseverance and nurture that thing, Pisces, because with time, the more you're in that energy, the more you embody that, you become a beacon, and all the stuff that you need is going to come to you here. Let's get some more cards here. I was like, ooh, we're getting in there. We're only 2 cards in. But, and that might be something too, maybe some of us maybe we're wondering what it is that we want to, like what it is that we do love. Maybe some of us might be thinking about that calling, and it's been something that has been taking a long time for us to realize, or maybe for it to not realize, but it's taken a long time for it to come to our attention, maybe, or we're just, I'm not quite sure, Pisces, but I feel like that it's something where, interesting, you know what? Okay, now I'm a little more sure. Because I feel like that maybe this is something where, interesting. Pisces, I feel like that maybe for some of us, we've been in this place where maybe we've been kind of pouring our energy and giving our all into others' dreams. And what I mean by that is that when I think about pursuing like our dreams, and like and then, we think about careers and jobs and whatnots, this is not me knocking on jobs or anything like that, but I feel like that, like a 9 to 5 or anything like that. But I feel like, Pisces, that maybe some of us, I feel like that we've been pouring our energies into things that have been really kind of restricting what we really want to do. I really feel like almost restricting our ways to express ourselves, and not to say that all Pisces are meant to be like artists or things like that, but I feel like that there's a lack of creativity that's happening here, Pisces. A way for you to tap in, and however creativity is expressed on you. Creativity, manifestation, we're all getting into like a similar type of realm here. But I feel like that maybe if some of us, if we're in this place, I feel like maybe partway, I'm kind of getting that maybe some of us might be thinking that if we're kind of like almost like patient in the sense of like, if we put up with this frustration, maybe I'm not be pursuing my stuff right now, but once I get through this grind, climb that ladder, maybe achieve like the American dream, get that house, 2.5 kids, garage, dog, then I'll be able to pursue what I love here. In Pisces, with that, I feel like that, and you're in a judgment-free zone here, but I feel like with that, when we get to an older age, I feel like that's, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that a lot of us, or you're not going to look back and think, man, I wish I would have worked harder. Man, I wish I would have really just ran by, really grinded here. No, I feel like we're going to look back if we don't pursue what is calling us, pursue what our passion is. We're going to think, man, it's probably too late for me to get to do all these things. I wish I would have. What ifs? Then it gets into this, and then we may start spiraling into like regrets, and then it gets into like a whole big mess, Pisces. And I feel like that, honestly, with how this stuff is lining up here, that if we have been wanting more, you've been feeling this oppression, maybe from our work environment, maybe the oppression that we're putting on ourselves. Maybe we realize that we've been limiting our dreams in the sense of like, maybe I can do more, maybe I can accomplish this thing. Maybe you tried doing it, Pisces. Maybe that was something where we went to pursue our passion, and maybe something when we got met with that first roadblock or that first hurdle, maybe, I don't want to say like you panicked, or maybe we were just like, we didn't deem it worth, like, oh, okay, well, crap, that's not, I don't want to do that, like, let me just go back to doing like a 9 to 5, get some stuff, whatever, that might have happened, Pisces. I feel like that's to be expected, because whether we're doing what we want to do or what we don't want to do, there are going to be hurdles regardless. But when it comes to what we want to do, it's one of those things. It's like when I started this channel, for example, there were times when I would run into, like technical stuff at first, all kinds of weirdness, trying to find different positions for lighting and whatnot. And it's like, sure, could that have deterred me and I just quit and go back to, I had food and beverage background, go back in food and beverage or whatever? Sure, but that's not what was calling me. It wasn't what's resonating me with. And again, it's not knocking any other, whatever you choose to do, as long as it's raising your vibration, I'm going to support it. But where I feel, if we're denying ourselves, if we're denying our means for, quieting that need to pursue more, that want from within, and we keep pouring our energies into stuff that is going to frustrate us, Pisces. That's all we're going to stay is ten of wands, sitting on. I'd like to think the 10 of wands, it's like putting a pot on the stove with no water, and then putting a lid on it. After a while, it's going to be a disaster, Pisces. More. So just something to think about. I feel like for you, any sort of areas that I feel like that we might feel restricted in, if our work environment has not been ideal, or if we feel like that, or maybe this is something too, maybe we feel like we've been in a bit of a rut here recently. I'm even thinking with this Prince of Disc energy, because the Prince of Disc is Taurus energy, and not that Taurus gets in a rut often, but I just feel like that maybe we've been so fixated on a path for a while that maybe it's just time maybe for some freshness. Maybe this is something too, Pisces. Maybe if you don't want to pursue your passion, let's say it's your career, maybe even just starting like a hobby or something along those lines, something just so that we're not feeling so pent up all the time. Ooh, we got a little stack here, Pisces. Yeah, look at this, Pisces. Oh, and look at you. You've leveled up, which is dope. And you know what? We will. But first, mindfulness. Lessons here. Maybe some of us, when I was talking about in the past, maybe we did try to pursue our passions and maybe we felt like we failed. Maybe, and you know what? Maybe this could be as well. Maybe some of us, if we think that we take that, if we take that approach or, take that leap, maybe we're worried about failing. And this, Pisces, this doesn't even necessarily have to be this is like your, maybe like starting your own dream job or something like that. This could be your dream position, Maybe you're worried about when we get into this level up here, because look at that, you're gone from a Prince of Disc to a Knight of Disc here, and maybe we're worried about if we level up in that aspect. Maybe we're worried we're going to fail as a manager. Maybe we don't feel that we may not be authoritative enough, or whatever that might be, Pisces. Either way, it's got us feeling some kind of way. And I feel like that these are things, Pisces, that we're let's start with the failures, because here's the thing with failures. Failures are fantastic, because here's the thing, at least if you failed, at least you tried to do something, and then you learn from this stuff. The failures don't define you. The failures, when they happen, they're there to provide lessons. It's like, okay, what went wrong? What could we have? Did we not have enough information? Did we need more skills? Did we need more finances? What was it, so that we can make that a focus, so that we can get a game plan next go around. But here's the thing, if we stay in a place of where I was even thinking, staying fixed, staying stagnant even, possibly staying even locked down in this stuff here, being in fears of failures, or, being dragged down by our past failures. Being stagnant, Pisces, is worse than failing, You might think failing's a bad thing, but it's the not doing anything. It's like that you can either fight, flight, or freeze. And when you freeze, that's like, it really is. It's just like one, is not going to help anything, because nothing's moving. That situation is still happening, and it's still waiting for a reaction. Just because we don't do anything doesn't mean that nothing happens, Well, kind of. But you stay in this state of fear, fear of failure, fear of that, and then it gets, and then we're oppressing ourselves again, and then we get into our head, then things are getting off of balance here. More restrictions, Pisces, we're talking about all this oppression stuff. You got all this Saturn energy here, and I feel like that, Pisces, you might have been, even when I think about Saturn, Saturn, yes, can be the planet of restrictions, but it's restricting us for us to learn from these situations here, Pisces. Saturn doesn't keep us restricted in order, just for laughs, Saturn wants us to flourish, wants us to evolve, wants us to expand, and you can, Pisces, but it's just putting in that work, and again, for whatever it is that you're wanting to do here. If your dream is to be that next CEO, go get that thing, go line up the steps for it. There are so many different stuff on YouTube for how to, maybe different traits that you might need for managerial positions. You can look up different blogs, there whatevers, you could even maybe even partner with I don't know, Pisces, even a recruiter or something. Recruiters are great resources as far as tailoring your resumes. Maybe partner with an agency or something along those lines if we're, maybe if we're even putting our resumes out there. Whatever it is, Pisces, You know, it's understanding that you can, when you put in the work in whatever it is that you want to do, you can achieve this. You know, whatever it is that you want to become a knight of. You know, the knights are the kings in traditional decks. What do you want to be a king of? You know, but when we keep ourselves in these places where we limit ourselves, because this really, Pisces, I do feel like is that we're constricting ourselves, and this could be something too, Pisces. You know, when I'm even seeing all these people around here, because you do got now I'm kind of paying attention. You got quite a bit of people here, and with the, you know, maybe when I'm thinking about this Prince of Cups, with how we're pouring out our energy, Pisces, you know, are we in places that are the people restricting us? You know, like, are we dealing with energies that are trying to keep us in a box? You know, that are, when you bring up maybe stuff for like a promotion, or, you know, when you rise up or this stuff like that, and you're still maybe you're still getting resistance, you know. Be mindful of that. If these people are keeping you down, got you feeling restricted, like a failure, got you feeling depressed and, you know, not confident in yourself, change up the environment. Use that knowledge to your advantage, because you see where all of the problems are. Rise up and take action, and you're going to feel so much better about after this too, Pisces, because you've stood up for yourself. You've pursued what you wanted to do, whatever it is that you've been trying to accomplish here. And it's, oh, we don't really have that many cards. It's greatness. You know, this is you, Pisces, just sitting on your throne here. But anymore, you know, Pisces, yeah, like, even this is, we're good over here, but I think we're about to get into some oracle cards. But yeah, Pisces, you know, this is with your birthday season. You know, you really do something that speaks to you, you know. And if we're not in an environment that's promoting our growth, or if we're just doing something, you know, that we really don't care for, maybe we're just doing it like for whatever the reason, I feel like, you know, creating a new scenario here, you know, creating a different just story for yourself. You know, I feel like that could be, what a great birthday gift to give to yourself there, Pisces, than to the gift of feeling fulfilled. You know what I mean? Of following your heart, and yes. Well, we will be. And weaving your dreams here, Pisces. You got the Weaver in reverse here to start off with. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, Pisces, your energy is really, it's, you're such a compassionate sign, you know, and I feel like you know, you want to maybe, you know, want to help everyone. And I get it. I'm a Cancer. And even, you know, even more so, Pisces, again, even a little more nuance. You know, my sun sign's in the 12th house, so I'm practically a Pisces. You know, I'm living, you know, I'm kicking it in your house. But you know, you're a Pisces. you're a water sign. You're really compassionate, and I just, you know, I feel like that taking that energy, feeding it into yourself, and then watch what you manifest. And, you know, I feel like that's going to help you manifest not only a wonderful world for you, but for others. Because when we pour, you know, one thing I do really love about the Two of Cups in this deck, I like to think that this main stuff here, this main Lotus here, this is us, you know, this is you, Pisces. You pour that energy there, because these two cups can't be filled if you haven't filled your cup, Pisces. And, you know, and again, it's finding that thing that fulfills us, so then that the next people around you, you know, whatever you're doing in a business, working with others, you know, that those cups are being filled, and then it becomes a whole vast ocean. You've created an ocean for us, Pisces, to just swim and enjoy ourselves in. But you have to be enjoying this ocean first. You know what I mean? That wasn't bad, Pisces. Let's see what else. Look at that. And now we're getting Look at that, Pisces. Now that we're creating stuff here, we're getting back in alignment. Look at you. It's all coming together. And hopefully that this is actually what's happening. You know, we've talked about this stuff, and as we're talking about it, you're just like, the realization is happening anymore. Because the align card is really, oh, look at that. Anymore. And now we got the solstice, Pisces. Hold on, let's switch back over because now things are getting real. We got alignment here, and now we got the solstice. You know, and I like this solstice here because I feel like maybe right now, I feel like maybe we might feel possibly maybe kind of trapped in this energy right now. You know, maybe it's kind of been feeling like in the darkness. You know, maybe it's been just a lot of maybe doubts or just not maybe some confusion, maybe as far as like, am I on the right path, as far as like that kind of guidance. But I feel like that, Pisces, this period that you're experiencing right now, this is the growth that's happening. Like, okay, if we're asking ourselves this stuff, explore that, dig deep into that. And if we're finding that we're not living up to what we want to do or what we feel like we can accomplish here, start taking those steps. Get a game plan, Pisces, and start thinking big. Because look, you leveled up it right in front of me. So be patient with yourself. Give yourself time. And not that I'm thinking it's going to take, you're going to be good by, fall solstice, but, with this, or fall solstice, winter solstice, I'm thinking, oof, Pisces. See, I don't even feel like we're in alignment right now, Pisces. But, I don't feel like this is something that's going to take a solstice, to solve. Well, really, it's just going to take your whole journey, Pisces. Getting towards what you love and all of that stuff there, it's constant. That need for fulfillment, that growth, it's for the duration. But these little pockets of these lessons right here, these little moments of wisdom that hold up, this little pocket here, it's temporary. This is where something exceptional, Knight of Disc, is getting ready to rise from this, Pisces. You're getting ready to, you started out as a page. You got some knowledge here, you got some insight, and then you've evolved. So just something to keep in mind, Pisces, when we're just going through this, just business and in life, this is something to be mindful of. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there, Pisces. So hopefully you like that. Hopefully that made sense. This is, I feel like, pretty surprisingly deep. I didn't expect it to go that route, but it definitely encompassed quite a lot. But if you like that, give it a thumbs up and share this, Pisces. Definitely, if we feel like that we can do more and that we can rise up for more, or whatever that is. If there's something inside us that's just yearning for more, or just that's not feeling that fulfillment, definitely explore that. And I feel like that's something that we all really can just benefit from. But yeah, share that, Pisces. And then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. And social media, I'm in your creative energy, I'm hoping I'm getting some stuff like halfway cooking. I got a cool little something, another deck that I got in the mix that I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate, and good old stuff. Stay tuned for that, Pisces. And then lastly, let's see. The only Cancer in your card you got is the Two of Cups, which is a lovely one. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, maybe you're thinking about working with a Cancer, whatever, Pisces, come check out my channel, The Sheridan Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping, down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of there and enjoy your birthday season. Nice. So we got the Four of Swords here, and then, and then we got the Dream card in reverse here, Pisces. And we're gonna talk about that dream in a second, but let's start with this Four of Swords, because with the Four of Swords, this is a card of really kind of when you've come to peace with, like, I feel like when you've made peace with a decision, I feel like that we've been going through some tough times. We've been going through some mindfulness, doing some reflections. And once we've gotten that realization as far as like, how we're going to take action, that's 4 swords in this deck. You've been going through a trial right now, and now we're getting over that hump. We're transitioning into that clarity, to that state of mind, that peace. And I feel like Pisces, if we're not there, if we're at this place of maybe we're feeling kind of, I don't want to say lost, but like if we're uncertain about, maybe where our next steps are trying to lead us, or as far as guidance, I feel like that this is sometimes, don't limit your dreams, or don't limit what you're capable of. I feel like dream as big as you can. And in Pisces, it's going to be one of those things that write down some of these, maybe, if we're not sure what we want to do, write down some things that we like, or maybe some aspirations, that we have, and then see what are some practical approaches that we can do with this, Pisces, because it's not even that I'm saying, just be all dreamy, I feel like this is more than that. It's not about just wanting or wishing, that I had that manager job, or wishing that I could start up my own business, or, wish that I could, whatever the wish dream is, it's turning that into life, it's bringing that from the dome to the home here. I got that from Scorpio when I did one of their readings. I loved it. But it's doing that, Pisces, is doing that, manifesting stuff, you know what I mean? And I tell you what, sometimes, when we think about manifesting creation, it's just like, well, what does that mean? Start with the manifesting 101, find yourself something to write on, and then find you a tool to write with, and I say, Pisces, have fun with it. If you got a pen and paper lying around, sure, that's cool, but if you can't find anything immediate, maybe we use a marker, and maybe we use the back of a receipt, and then eventually get into an organized place, Pisces, if that's how we operate. But maybe even just doing some things that way to kind of free up our creativity. But I just feel like that if we tell ourselves that we can't do something, then yeah, you can, because we've already stopped. And Pisces, remember, if you don't attempt it, you didn't even fail. You just didn't do anything. Let's try to fail. Let's try to do that, so that we can learn, and so that we can grow, and so that we can do it better. You know what I mean? Let's not get focused on how we're going to feel about it, because sure, when we make a mistake, yeah, it sucks sometimes, but it doesn't have to keep us locked in. It doesn't have to hinder the growth. If anything, Pisces is going to be expansive. So just something to keep in mind of. But I think I'm going to get you out of here, Pisces. So stay safe out there. And really, during your birthday season, raise it to the roof. Oh, isn't there a birthday song that's got like raising it to the roof? I'm not sure. I'm making a song, Pisces. This is your song now, or this is your dance now. I'm gonna do the Pisces dance every time I see you. See what happens when you don't dream, Pisces? Look at this gets made up here. Now, then we get to this place of like, what are we doing, Pisces? And actually, what are we doing? I'm going to get you out of here, Pisces. Raise that vibration to the, now I'm just being silly for your birthday now. And I will get you on the next one. I'm debating if I'm going to keep that in. I probably am. So just settle in, Pisces. Later.